Good day, everyone. So now I discuss about project management introduction. So for today's sessions, these objectives, at the end of this session, the student should be able to define a project and a project management, describe the goals of project management, and explain the project phases. For more understanding, when a project is started, goals or specific outputs are set by both the organization and the project team. These goals are how the organization will judge the success of a project with differentiate a project from operational work is that operations are ongoing and repetitive, while projects are temporary and unique. So now, what is a project? So in project, there are two, specific output and unique. So when we say specific output, a project is a set of tasks to achieve a specific output or goal. When we say goal is defined by a set of requirements, delivering the project is akin to deliver the requirements of the goal. And output can have physical attributes. And the next one is unique. When we say unique, output is unique, a custom product or process. A process that produces a recurring output is an operation. And the next one for the what is a project is the phases. When we say phases, is a project proceed in a stage is not a one action activity. In phases, there is what we call progressive elaboration. Has multiple steps to complete the output. So in that, progressive elaboration is a characteristic of projects. That means developing in steps, continuing increments. An example of progressive elaboration is when the project scope, start, and endpoints will be broadly described early in the project and made more explicit and detailed as the project team develops a better and more complete understanding of the objectives and deliverables. For additional information, project scope is the definition of what the project is supposed to accomplish and the budget of both time and money that has been allotted to the project. And next, for project management, it is using tools or techniques at each stage to deliver the projects. So, application of tools and techniques in the performance of the processes to deliver the requirement. So, here is the 5 process groups. First, initiation. Second, planning. Third, execution. Fourth, controlling. And lastly, closing. First, I discuss about initiation. When we say initiation is when a clear description of the project objectives are developed, including the reasons why a specific project is the best alternative solution to satisfy the requirements. And next, planning. Planning is where the project management plan is created. This is where the project team will identify, define, and mature the project scope, project goals, and schedule the project activities that occur within the project. And next, execution. Execution and when the project teams starts coordinating people and resources, as well as integrating and performing the activities of the project in accordance with the project management plan. And next, controlling. Controlling is when the project performance is observed and measured regularly to identify variance from the project management plan. This is also includes controlling changes and recommending preventive action in anticipation of possible problems. And lastly, closing. Closing includes the formally ending all activities of project or a project phase, hand off the completed product to others, formally establishes the project or a project phase is finished. And next, goals of project management. So there are 3: meet requirements, achieve efficient delivery, and minimize risks. When we say meet requirements, is deliver the output as defined or required by the client. And next, achieve efficient delivery, deliver the output with the least cost in time, resources, and money. And lastly, minimize risk, deliver output with least uncertainty in scope, timeliness, quality. The first goal of project management is meet requirements. When a project is initiated, goals and expectations are set. As mentioned, this is what your stakeholders will use to judge the success of your project. These are three things you need to ensure are achieved. First, requirements. Second, initiation. Third, quality. A project has to complete within the cost and time allocated and must have addressed all tasks within the established scope. A project has to have been initiated properly by establishing and acquiring approval for costs, time, and other resources. So the first goal meet there is equality. There are two, structure and review. When we say structure of work to ensure adherence to requirements, review, process to verify output per requirement. So the second goal of project management is achieve efficient delivery. There are three things you need to be on top to ensure the project is managed within the timeline established. First is plans. Plans must have complete project plans for activities, goals, and resources so that the right resources and tools are available when needed. Must have testing and quality assurance plans to minimize the work. A solid plan has to be created at the onset of the project. This has to include plans, scope for costs, resources for tools, and all tasks that need to be completed. And that's all. Thank you.
So, under the goal, achieve efficient delivery, we have execution management. Execution management must have the right tools, right resources for the task, must have candid, transparent reviews to catch errors and issues before they have significant adverse impact. For change control must have governance to approve changes in scope, various activities, schedule, resources, cost. Quality management implement processes to review output against requirements, minimize output function gaps, develop test plans and create independent, dedicated test organization, minimize risk of function gaps and errors. Change governance, control changes in scope, schedule, resource, and other elements to minimize risk. Provide clear transparency on impact of changes on project and on risk level. Communication have clear plan to communicate activities and status to stakeholders. Provide instructed communication of expected changes in post-delivery processes to minimize transition risk and noise. So for the conceptual project phases, we have approval and scope. Number two, plans design. Under the approval scope, definition of scope of project, target output in general terms, explicit project objective declared by the stakeholder, general parameters on time, cost, and resources. Approval must be formal or written, also called feasibility phase or initial phase. Plans and design, functional and technical design of what will be done. One does not build a mansion without architectural, plumbing, and electrical plans. So here are the discussion for plans or design. Case number one. Think about building a big house without a plumbing plan, no definition at the start where the toilets will be, where the septic tank will be, where the water piping will pass, whether there will be flowing hot water. Can a house be constructed without a plumbing plan? Are houses constructed without plumbing plans? Yes, houses can be constructed without plumbing plan on especially small houses with standard one kitchen, one toilet. What makes this doable? The standard market practices already define common specifications such as internal piping 1/2 inch, toilets have standard fixtures. The danger is each change outside of market practice standard will be costly. Case number two, think about an electrical plan that was not signed off by yourself as the homeowner. You want an 5 additional 220-volt outlet in the toilet. What is the impact to cost and time? You want 110-volt outlet beside every 220-volt outlet. What is the impact to cost and time and why? You decide that there will be a box type 5 horsepower air conditioner package in three areas. Whenever stakeholders, such as you in this case study, is not asked to review or approve plans, the resulting impact to time and resources can be big. For conceptual project phases, number 3, construction, development of the system or implementing the process change. It includes manufacturing, unit testing, signing the contracts with the concert venue, musicians, security agency, lighting contractor, and spending the real money. What happens if the requirements change? Big storm requires change in open air concert venue. Market changes and central bank requires different reporting. When requirements are changed during construction phase, you should go back quickly to the planning phase and modify the plans, see the impact of the change on other parts of the output or the construction activities, get approval for the changes, and only when these two activities are done should construction work restart. For number 4, the testing, independent review of output against requirements, integration test, test overall flow, performance with plan, volume, peak volume test, development of user documentation. Why test? Just correct when the users flag the error. Announcement go live, already made. Can we just go live without integration test? Poor testing or lack of testing will bite you in the end. When users see one error, they will assume there are many other errors they do not see. Imagine seeing an error on your Jollibee bill or an error on your mobile phone bill. What is your reaction? Happy? Friendly? Can we just go live without integration test? Yes, you can go ahead, but call it a beta implementation. Restaurants call this a soft launch to warn customers that service can be long, bills can take a while to go out, food may be cold. So for the last one, implementation, benefits review, or go live. Full process to manage the user adjustment or transition. Review of planned benefits versus actual benefits after the period of stabilization. Formal switch to live status so that any changes or fixes are part of maintenance. Releasing the development team, benefits review is often forgotten. Project promised to save 10 million in cost. Project teams often focus most of the energy on planning, constructing, and testing that they would sometimes forget to review the benefits. Lack of benefits review might cause your stakeholders to not believe the promises next time, will not fund the investment in the project. So, for the summary, definition of project and project management. Project highlights the specific output, temporary for a unique result stages. Project management highlights application of tools, techniques in the performance of the processes to deliver the requirement. Goal of project management is to deliver that meets requirements, efficient in time, scope, resources, and with least risk. For project phases, approval, plans or design, construction, testing, and implementation.